What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the FN Studios. I am John Ramdeen alongside Robin Black, and we are looking ahead to UFC 205, arguably the greatest card the UFC has ever assembled. Of course, we know it's Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez, but there are so many reasons to love this fight card. You have Chris Weidman fighting in his own backyard. When I say his own backyard, Madison Square Garden is literally right around the corner from Renzo Gracie's academy. Now, I know he spends time training with Ray Longo, but that has to be a great feeling that you get to walk from your gym to the venue that you've always wanted to compete in. But Chris Weidman, even though he's mentally strong, he's called himself a choke artist in the past. This is a lot of pressure for a fighter that was desperate to get on this card, and he was willing to do whatever it took. He had neck surgery. When it comes down to the full package, the mental aspects, the desire to get in there and compete, what do you think of Chris Weidman in this fight?
Well, there's a lot of things that we don't know about. He's never lost before, so we don't know how he responds to that. There's no way to know. However, that choke artist that he called himself, he told us that at this desk, he was acknowledging something in his past and how, upon acknowledging it, he changed himself. That he lost in the big matches when he was a wrestler, and when it came time to become a mixed martial artist, it was to acknowledge that and change it. And it's the people who deny it that have the inability to change. If you wouldn't believe it, I had a metal plate in my head, I slipped on a banana peel. The people who make excuses are the ones that will find themselves in it again. Chris doesn't make excuses. He acknowledged that in his past, and he made changes, dealt with it. And that's what he's likely to do this time, is look at it and really look at what he did or didn't do in the preparation and in performance against Luke Rockhold. That's what he has to do. That's what he's done in the past, so there's a good chance that's what he's doing now.
When you look at this fight with Yoel Romero, now, I know the big picture, a lot of people say, he gets tired. Now, if you're Chris Weidman, you can't afford to give away rounds in this fight. It's not a championship fight. It's only 3 rounds. So you know that Yoel Romero is going to come out hot first. Is that something that you have to address right away? Or is it okay? We're going to wait to see how things play out in round 1, get to round 2, make sure you win round 2, and make sure you win round 3.
Yeah, of all the cliches they use is often, I'm preparing for the best Yoel Romero. That's a really good approach. Because if you assumed, he's made no changes, he'll get tired, what if he doesn't? And if you're preparing for the very best of him and you know who you are and you've gotten better, Weidman could do 25 minutes with a Lyoto Machida. Now you know what you're capable of. What are you capable of when you condense it into 15 minutes? Push this man. Even if he's the best him, push him, test him, see what he can do. It's an interesting one for a lot of reasons. Yoel Romero, we know about his lifetime of wrestling, and we see the boxing, we see the kickboxing, we see his strength, we see all of these things, but he has the ability to keep improving as well. We haven't seen him since he got suspended. So there's a lot of unknowns with him. If I was Chris Weidman, if I was Ray Longo, I'd be looking at the fact that Chris is a kicker. He's a good kicker. Kicked with Lyoto Machida. Yep. Whereas Romero, at least in the past, was a good athletic wrestler who threw some kicks or threw some punches. Now, you hope he has changed and you prepare for the fact that he's changed, but can we beat him from the outside with kicks?
Does he use the kicks sparingly? Because if you look at the fight with Luke Rockhold, Luke Rockhold managed to put Chris Weidman on the ground, and I know it's mixed martial arts. You don't have to have the same credentials as Henry Cejudo or Yoel Romero, but if Luke Rockhold managed to put Chris Weidman on the ground and Weidman decides to kick against Yoel Romero, he decides to catch, you've now given Yoel Romero an advantage.
Well, Chris airballed on that kick. It wasn't even going to land anywhere near Rockhold. Now, Rockhold did make the adjustment to move towards it and get inside the leg to catch it, but you just can't have that type of mental lapse in a fight. But at the same time, if part of the game of kicking you develop is selling kicks for him to grab for it and making him pay for that. If you're fighting a wrestler who wants to catch your kicks, make him commit to it and then kick him somewhere else.
A great middleweight contest that we know will have title implications after UFC 205.